You've always taken care of yourself, maybe not perfectly, but enough. You're the kind of man who shows up. You pay attention, you listen, you're not reckless with your body. So when something felt off after oral sex, you didn't panic. Maybe a little soreness, a weird twinge, maybe even some swelling. You figured it would pass, but it didn't. And that quiet unease, the one you haven't told anyone about, it's still there. It's not just the physical sensation, it's the mental spiral. Is this normal? Did I ignore something? Should I be worried? But you didn't say anything. Not to your partner, not to your doctor. Hell, maybe not even fully to yourself, because this kind of thing isn't easy to talk about, especially not when it involves that part of your body, especially when you're supposed to have it all together at this age, when you're supposed to know what's going on with yourself. But here's the thing. A lot of men feel exactly this, that mix of embarrassment, confusion, and quiet concern. And most never bring it up. They just carry it. And wait. If that's where you're at, you're not weak, you're not overreacting, and you're definitely not alone. Whatever you're feeling, discomfort, anxiety, even fear, it makes sense. That's your body talking. And ignoring it won't make it go away. So let's talk about it. Without shame, without panic, just the facts, just you and me, because there's a reason it doesn't feel right, and you deserve to know what that reason is. Let's talk about something most men never bring up, not with their buddies, not with their partner, and often not even with their doctor. Your testicles. Yeah, it feels awkward to say out loud, but you've noticed something, a difference. Maybe one seems smaller than the other. Maybe both feel softer or heavier or just not the same. And your brain starts asking quiet questions you try to ignore. Here's the thing. Your testicles aren't just hanging around down there doing one job. They're not just for reproduction. These are your hormone engines. Specifically, they're the factory floor for testosterone, the hormone that keeps your energy up, your mood stable, your muscles strong, and your sex drive alive. So when something changes in size or firmness, it's not just cosmetic, it's informational. It's your body trying to tell you something's shifted under the surface. Sometimes it's simple, like temporary swelling after exercise or natural variation between left and right. That's normal. But other times, it's more than that. A size decrease could mean lower testosterone production. It could point to a varicocele. That's when veins in your scrotum get enlarged and mess with circulation. In some cases, it could even signal early testicular atrophy, which means the tissue is literally shrinking from disuse or damage. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm saying it to clear the fog, because when something changes in your body, especially in a place you've been taught to ignore, the worst thing you can do is brush it off or feel ashamed. It's not always serious, but it's never random, and the sooner you understand what might be behind the shift, the sooner you get back in control. You might not talk about it. Hell, maybe you haven't even admitted it to yourself out loud, but when something changes down there, when one testicle seems smaller or things just feel different, it messes with more than just your body. It gets in your head. You start wondering, is this normal? Did I do something wrong? Is this the beginning of something worse? And even if no one else notices, you do. Every time you're in the shower, every time you get undressed, every time you look in the mirror and feel a little less certain. That quiet shift, it's not just physical. It chips away at your confidence. It affects how you show up in the bedroom, not because your partner is judging you, but because you're judging you. Because deep down, this stuff is tied to how we see ourselves as men. Testicles aren't just anatomy. They're symbols of virility, of strength, of being solid. And when something changes, it can leave you second-guessing things you never used to question. You might feel less energized, less in control, even a bit off. And here's the thing. You're not broken. You're not overreacting. You're just paying attention to something most men ignore until it's too late. You're not the only one who feels this. You're just one of the few who's brave enough to face it. Here's what usually happens. You notice something feels different. Maybe one testicle seems smaller or hangs differently. You Google it once, late at night, just to check. You find everything from cancer to hormone imbalance to don't worry about it in the first 5 minutes, and then you close the tab and never bring it up again. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Most men do the same thing. We're taught to power through, to not make a fuss. So you push it aside. You figure if it really mattered, it'd get worse or more obvious until it does. Or maybe you go the other way. Start chasing solutions before you understand the actual problem. You grab the zinc, the tribulus, the tonkat ali. You listen to a guy at the gym or a thread online. You start tweaking things, assuming it'll balance out eventually. But here's the thing. Your body isn't a supplement shelf or a search bar. It's talking to you. And when something changes, especially in something as hormonally sensitive as your testicles, it's not random. It's a signal. And signals are meant to be understood, not silenced or drowned out with half guesses. This isn't about fear, it's about clarity. Because the truth is, most of the damage, it's not from the issue itself. It's from waiting too long to face it. So if something feels off, don't go silent. Don't overcorrect either. Just listen. Get the facts. That's how you take your power back. Not by guessing, but by actually knowing. All right, so now that you know what might be going on, what do you actually do about it? Let's start simple. First, check in with yourself. Literally, if something's changed in size, shape, firmness, or feeling, don't ignore it. You're not being paranoid. You're being responsible. A self-check once a month is smart. And no, it's not complicated. In a warm shower or right after, gently roll each testicle between your thumb and fingers. You're not looking for exact symmetry. Nobody has perfectly matched testicles, but you are checking for anything new. A lump, a heavy pull, an odd firmness, a dull ache that doesn't go away. That kind of stuff. If something feels off, get it checked. Not next year, soon. A quick ultrasound or exam could save you a lifetime of worry. Now, what can actually help? Start with heat. Your testicles don't like it. Long, hot baths, laptops on your lap, tight underwear, heated car seats. It all adds up. Cool things down. Literally. Then, think of hormones. Extra body fat, especially around your waist, can mess with your testosterone. So, drop 5 pounds. It's not about vanity, it's about balance. Sleep, movement, less alcohol, more fiber. All the things you already know help your body, they help this too. And finally, zinc and selenium. Not magic pills, just minerals your testicles rely on to function. You can get them through food, pumpkin seeds, eggs, Brazil nuts, or a supplement if needed. That's it. Nothing trendy, nothing extreme, just quiet, consistent steps. You don't have to do it all tonight, but you can start. And that shift from ignoring it to addressing it, that's where the real power is. Here's the thing. Most guys want change to happen fast. You notice something's off, you make a shift, and you want results now. I get it. But your body's not a machine you can just reboot. It's more like a partner you've stopped listening to, and now you're learning how to reconnect. When you start taking your health seriously, whether that's getting checked out, making a few lifestyle tweaks, or even just paying attention, something changes quietly but consistently. Maybe it starts with your energy. You wake up with just a little more drive. You're not dragging by mid-afternoon. Or maybe it's in the way you carry yourself, more steady, less irritated, more grounded. Your confidence? That comes too, but not all at once. It shows up in the silence, when you're not overthinking, when you're not second-guessing what your body's telling you. And then one day, you realize you're not worried the way you used to be. That background noise, is this normal? Should I be worried? It gets quieter. This isn't magic, it's just what happens when you stop ignoring what your body's been trying to say. You take small steps, you follow through, you build trust, not just in the process, but in yourself. And that's where the shift really happens. You start believing you can handle it, that whatever comes next, you're not powerless, you're paying attention, you're in the driver's seat again. It's not fast, it's not flashy, but it's real, and it lasts. Narrator section. You know that moment when you catch yourself in the mirror, maybe stepping out of the shower, and something flickers in your mind. A pause, a quick second guess. Is this normal? Has something changed? You brush it off. Move on. but that flicker stays with you. Not loud enough to panic, just loud enough to bother you. That's the kind of weight men carry in silence. And here's the thing. It's not really about testicle size. It's about what it represents. Control, vitality, manhood. When something feels off in that part of your body, it shakes more than just biology. It gets under your skin, makes you wonder if you're still firing on all cylinders, if you're still you. But when you finally stop ignoring it, when you look, ask questions, and take care of it, something shifts. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. No more guessing. No more pretending you didn't notice. You start to feel grounded again. You trust your instincts more. You know where you stand and what to do next. That's real confidence, the quiet kind. Not the kind that shows off, but the kind that doesn't flinch. And when you carry that with you into your relationship, your health decisions, your daily life, it shows, even if no one else knows why. You just feel right again, like a man who's finally listening to his body and respecting it. Here's the thing, your body's been talking to you, maybe in a whisper, maybe louder than that. A little ache, a change in size, a heaviness you can't quite explain. You didn't imagine it, and it's not weakness to notice, it's awareness. It's your body giving you data. Don't brush it off. Don't let old habits or fear convince you to stay quiet. You don't have to panic. You don't have to solve everything today, but you can start listening. That's what real strength looks like now. Not ignoring pain, not powering through confusion, but tuning in and making one smart decision at a time. If something feels off, there's probably a reason. And if there's a reason, there's usually a solution. You've got more control than you think. So listen, trust what you feel, and act when it matters. It's your body. It's your call.